Each week when Supernatural's done, make sure you know what went on. Listen to Heather and Eric, get the salt notes for sure.
This is episode 100,000 of Get the Salt. I'm Eric.
I'm Heather.
So we're back from vacation or time off, and we got an episode called The Chitters. For whatever reason, I can't say Chitters without thinking of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Does that happen to you too? I can't.
Chitters.
I think Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I just think of Jitters, the coffee shop on The Flash.
Oh, I don't watch The Flash, but I believe you.
I just think of Jitters.
And then the other thing I think of was Jeepers Creepers when I hear the word Chitters. Which
well, you should, because this episode followed the Jeepers Creepers plot a little.
It's kind of, I mean, for me, Jeepers Creepers was one of the best scary movies. Part 1 was way scarier than Part 2 because they showed a lot more of the monsters. So I don't like when they show a lot of the monster, but Part 1 Jeepers Creepers freaked me out. Not as much as Blair Witch, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers was good. It had a cute guy in it, so I actually watched it. Who was in that?
Oh, you know who that guy is.
The first one? Was it Justin Long?
Yes.
I love him.
Yeah, that was a great movie. So this episode, the episode and the title of the episode reminded me of Jeepers Creepers. So at the beginning of the episode, they had the two brothers. They were brothers, yeah. They're brothers, two brothers, walking through the woods, and everything always seems to happen in the woods. Don't ever go into the woods by yourself.
Don't ever go into the woods. There's no fucking need for it.
I forget fishing or hiking or seeing nature in its finest. No.
Don't do that.
Do not go by. Well, they weren't by themselves. They were with each other. Or at least don't go into the woods without a weapon. They had fishing poles.
Yeah, let's send a 12-year-old into the woods with a weapon. That always ends well, too.
So what confused me in the beginning of the episode, right off the bat, was the fact that the first thing, they were kind of far away, so you really couldn't see if they were boys or girls, but they were talking about, I believe they were both boys, and they were saying, do you think he liked me? And I didn't get what that was about until later on the episode, till you find out that he's gay. So
you didn't get that?
I didn't. Listen, I am.
Yeah, because Jesse was telling his brother about how he kissed him.
Right. I was confused. I don't get things right away like you do. It took me a while. I was like,
and that's why he was like, they won't be the only ones that won't understand, and they won't be the only ones upset. The whole school, everybody's going to freak out. Right.
Well, I had to rewind it to kind of understand what was going on. I thought maybe it was a girl with short hair or something, but it wasn't. It was a kid, a boy. But I really honestly didn't get it until 3/4 of the episode. I'm like, oh, that bald guy was that little kid. Oh, my God. I'm slow.
Wow.
I'm slow. I have to either read reviews afterwards and get it, or summaries, or talk to you to understand them. But anyway, so I was first confused by that. Now, the other thing that I found interesting was that this monster was came out in the middle of the day. Typically, these monsters will not show up in the middle of the day. These are guys that are usually night hunters, take advantage of the night.
Yeah, we do tend to see a lot more stuff happening in the nighttime, but we've had stuff happen during the day before, too.
Yeah. So
I guess it's a little more on the unusual, but not unheard of side.
I recently watched another movie called The Dwellers or Dwellings. It was basically about a bunch of mole people living in underground, and they did the kind of they did the kind of the same thing, but they hunted during the day too. So that was I kind of thought that was going to be the kind of monster we were going to see this episode. But anyways, you don't find out what kind of monster it is till later on. So the boy, the little one, goes to take a piss, and his brother gets taken by, you really can't see what it is. It looked like a pale, I thought maybe it was going to be like a Bigfoot episode or something, or something taking his kid. But the kid sees his brother being taken. You don't really find out what happens to the younger one till later on in the episode. But he apparently survives. I think he ran away.
Yeah, that is something that was a little confusing to me at first, was whether or not the little younger brother survived. Because it kind of seemed like he did, but then I was like, did he? I don't know. That was a little confusing to me, whether or not he survived. But then, of course, you figure it out as soon as you're introduced to the other hunters.
If if you're not me. If you're me, you still don't get it. What's going
When
on.
he introduced with the name Jesse?
I don't remember. I barely remember these names of these characters, and I watch the show every day. It's just very hard for me to remember names. I'm not a name person. So
what's the name of the actor that plays Sam?
Jensen Jekyll? No, hold on. The guy who plays Sam, his name is Jensen is Dean. I know that one.
What's Jensen's last name?
Ackles.
There we go.
Jensen Ackles. And Sam is, I have no idea.
Really?
Give me the last name.
Give you the last name? The last name's the hard part.
Okay, give me the first name.
Starts with a J.
Jamil.
Jared.
Oh, Jared Padalecki.
There you go.
It just takes you a little while. I have to be kind of a better podcast host and like write these things down on a piece of paper so I can have them to look at. But we do this podcast in the darkness of the studio. Probably couldn't even read it.
We don't keep any lights on in here. There's nothing but the glow of monitors, and I love it.
So the one thing that kind of made me feel like he didn't die when he saw whatever monster it was that was taking him was his brother, that we didn't get that supernatural splash of blood or something like that. Like they usually throw, like I would see like splash of blood on the grass or something like that, but he didn't. Anyway,
well, we did have a first-time director for this episode.
No, it wasn't a first-time director. It was like the third one this chick did. I saw this in some papers here.
The writer. Yeah, Nancy wrote it.
Oh, the director. Okay.
Eduardo Sanchez is the director.
Eduardo Sanchez.
Yeah. Nancy Wan was the writer of the episode, and she's a producer of the series. She's been around for the last season or so. She's fairly new. She's done a couple.
I think it said here 3.
Yeah, 3. I know she did Thin Lizzy. What was her other one? This one. I don't know what her other one was.
I have it somewhere here. If we don't find it, we'll come back and let you know. So we now
Don't You Forget About Me.
Okay.
Yep, she wrote Chitters, Don't You Forget About Me, and Thin Lizzy. But and Don't You Forget About Me was really one of my favorites.
Which one was that one?
Did you forget about it?
I did forget about me. So we go down to Sam and Dean in the bunker, and it's been a week since Cassifer has been taken by Amara. Yep. They're trying to, look up some research or
lore. Look, we
get
get the same exact intro that we get in every fucking episode now,
or
which
filler.
is we're in the bunker trying to find research. We've been here for so long. We need to get out and just go do something so that we're not sitting here. Okay, let's go. And then never mention again. That's the standard opening for every episode that is not part of the A storyline all season. Like, I can just walk away from the TV for a few minutes, go make some popcorn or something, because guess what? I can tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Without having seen it, because it's always the same.
You're right, 100%. But that's like their MO, like that's.
I feel like this MO is a lot stronger this season, though, compared to other seasons where they're fighting a big bad and have to search or beat somebody. When, they're going after Abaddon and trying to get rid of her.
Yeah, because prior...
researching how to get rid of the Mark of Cain.
Prior to having the bunker,
they've had the bunker for a long time now.
For how many seasons now, you think?
When did they get the bunker?
I don't know.
6, 7?
Really? That long ago? Oh, my God.
No, I don't.
I've been watching this show for so long. So they've been in the bunker for a week doing research on trying to find how to find Amara. I don't understand what research they're doing. Or how to, I don't know what they're looking up or what they're trying to do at this point. What really can they do?
They're trying to try to find Cass, because Dean always cares more about Cass than anything.
I mean, I guess couldn't they use the same spell that they use, or I guess that they'd be a willing participant.
Bunker started in season 8.
Okay, so it's been there a while.
We've had it for over 3 years now.
Yeah, but prior to that, they didn't have a headquarters, so they're. That opening same scene where they had in the bunkers used to be either in the car or in a whole motel room. It varied, I guess, previously, so maybe that's why it didn't seem so repetitive.
But it didn't seem repetitive in seasons 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, because they end up losing Amara every episode. They get a glimpse of her and then they take off and she takes off.
You were talking about something else.
So
I forget what. I wasn't listening to you. I was looking up bunker stuff.
So the thing I was talking about was the fact that they used the spell to call Lucifer or summon him using that demon summoning spell.
Angel summoning spell.
Was it demon or angel? I don't know.
Why would you summon an angel with a demon summoning spell?
Well, because Lucifer's inside his body.
Lucifer is an angel. Lucifer is not a demon.
Oh, okay. Well, it was an angel then. Summoning spell. Anyway, so they summon him. Couldn't they use that same summoning spell now to get him?
Not if he's under Amara's magic, because she pulled him and then disappeared with him. I have to imagine he is not in control of himself.
Yeah, I figured that. I was like, oh, why don't you just call him and summon him, and that's the end of that. I always feel like I have the easy way out. But anyway, so they're trying to figure out, I guess, how to rescue Cass at this point, and they're like, oh my god, Dean's been reading there for a week, and Sam's talking about karma that they've been given, I guess, bad karma for the last week, or like the last couple of years, that everything's been bad karma. So now, in order to change the scale of karma, that they're going to help out, I guess, somebody in need or a town in need.
Right.
And they head out for the Monster of the Week episode.
Yes, they do. It's a Monster of the Week episode, which was kind of interesting seeing the other characters come in. They meet up with a pair of other hunters who we mentioned early on. A couple, actually, which is the little boy from the beginning, the cold open, all grown up. Jesse, all grown up after, turns out he did survive. And his hunting partner, who at first is mistaken for a brother or a friend. Turns out they're together. They're married. Which
I thought was really, really cool. Two parts of that I think were really awesome. One was the fact that they were gay. They played two gay men as hunters, which I thought was great. And the fact that they teamed up with Sam and Dean, you really don't see too many team-ups. You see it occasionally happen, but these were two muscle-bound, strong guys who have experience.
These were competent hunters. Like Garth, when we first met him, completely incompetent. I mean, he eventually got a little better as it wore on, but the first time you saw him teaming up with them, completely incompetent. Mm-hmm. Or it's usually Sam and Dean teaching new people about the hunt.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see them, but I mean, we've seen Rufus come in before. You've seen other experienced hunters come in, and it never quite goes as well. I really liked these guys,
and I'm glad they were good guys, because a lot of times you see these hunters, they're like a little bit of assholes.
Yeah, I was fully expecting like I thought the twist was going to be with them, like, because there was no twist to this thing. I guess the twist was finding, like, when they get the information closer to the end of the episode on how to get to the monster. There was no twist to this episode.
I mean, it was a soft twist.
I kept expecting, like, either Jesse or Caesar to, like, turn out to be the monster in disguise, or to be
I thought
evil,
we were going to see Jesse's brother still alive as, like, the monster. The main monster has been living out. But no, that was anyway. So turns out that every 27 years is generational cycle that this monster, which is they refer to as a cicada. What is it? Cicada spirit?
It's just like the cicada bugs that burrow and hibernate for decades at a time, which are coming back this year. BTW.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Cicadas are coming.
I saw an episode about cicadas. Those are really interesting creatures. The fact that they can survive that long in hibernation is insane. Yeah. It's very scary, too.
I know. They're creepy.
We need to do one of those, like, genetic experiments. Like, instead of Spider-Man, Cicada Man.
I feel like that wouldn't do anyone any good.
Go to sleep for, like,
sleep?
60. That'd be pretty cool.
Rip Van Winkle over here, buddy.
So people start going missing, which the little humming thing going on when the people would start getting possessed, or it wasn't possession, it was more like they were inhabited by the creature.
Yes, they are the shell to the creature's hermit crab.
And they started doing their little humming thing, which is it was very kind of like possession-ish.
Buzzing,
yeah. It was very scary.
It felt like chittering to me. I feel like chitter described the sound very well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And a girl gets lost, a coach disappears, there's a bunch of people disappearing. And they quickly are able to get some lore, thank God, from these two guys.
Yeah, the hunters were also a very clever plot device. Like, not just to be the characters there, but because, how are they going to find out this information? Guess what? These guys are just going to have all the information. Because when you look stuff up on the internet, you can't find any books from Mexico where apparently they have these.
Yeah. It was
okay, sure.
And again, Sam and Dean, or at least Dean, gets rescued by somebody else.
Yeah, he was.
He looked like he was getting beat up by the one that he first found in the forest, and the guy comes down and whoosh, takes off his head.
Yeah, beheading works.
Yeah,
all the time.
And I cannot stand that they always split up. Never split up. You need backup at all times.
But you only have a certain period of time to get things done. Like, the quicker you investigate these, the quicker you can save more people.
Right.
By splitting up, you save one person's life if you get it done in half the time.
Yeah, I understand, like, the whole, time management thing, but
they're not worried. They're not chicks in a horror movie.
If you died, time management means shit. You know what I mean? Like, what does that matter?
Hey, they always come back.
But that's why I like the fact that they had this team going on. From the very beginning, I guess there's the Hunter world. I mean, I don't really understand the Hunter world 1,000% from the show, but it seems like these guys kind of really work on their own. They're really like a solo.
Yep.
Solo players. They're not trying to team up with anybody.
We've kind of come across quite a few teams at this point, like hunting teams, but
nothing big. It's always been like two.
Right. But in actuality, most hunters are solo. The teams of two are the rarity.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellen and Joe fighting together because, it's usually a family thing. But, I mean, John always, he went hunting by himself until Dean was old enough to be brought with him.
Yeah, I mean, typically you're not born a hunter. You become one because it's either a supernatural being killed a family member of yours, and you're seeking out your revenge. And that's the whole story.
Yeah.
That what this episode was about was revenge, seeking revenge on this creature.
I mean, that's how the entire series started, seeking revenge on the yellow-eyed demon.
Yeah, and then, I mean, that was, I think, the major theme of this episode, and it was a parallel between Sam and Dean and these two guys. The fact
every time you bring in like two people, it's always a parallel between Sam and Dean. Mm-hmm. It's always.
But it always never seems to work out for Sam and Dean. But I mean, at least this episode, there was a happy ending towards the end. So they find out the lore quickly from these two hunters, which again, they were the Jesse, played by a fellow bald-headed fellow like myself. He was very on edge, major on edge, because I guess he felt like there was a time limit. He needed to find out where their nest was to take them all out, or maybe find something of his brother, or get his revenge and be able to move on with his life. But like you said earlier, I felt like something was going to go on with that guy.
Yeah.
Because he seemed very weird.
They seemed very sketchy, just conveniently showing up out of nowhere. Hunters that Sam and Dean had never heard of. Yeah, they seem sketchy. I'm glad they turned out not to be. Yeah,
and they were very helpful. And not pussies. The guy hurts his ankle. I mean, I don't know how bad he could have rolled it and not really sprained it. And then he's like, "Are you good to go?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I'm good to go. Let's get this shit done. I got to do this for Jesse." And
no, he's got to do it for his own life because, damn it, he wants to go back to New Mexico and raise horses. He's tired of this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And he wants to have it done.
So they end up speaking to one of the sheriffs, and it's always so funny how they end up. Well, the sheriff was absolutely gorgeous. I was like, this is not a real sheriff. I mean,
okay.
You can't always, I guess, cast the perfect. I mean, there's been some really great perfect characters that I felt like were cast perfectly, but that sheriff who was probably 4'10", because when she walks by, I mean, Sam is huge. She reached his belt buckle. That's how tall she was. When she opened the door, I noticed that the window to the door, she was barely able to peek over that little window in the door. She was tiny.
Yeah.
That was not the sheriff. I mean, it just seemed weird to me. Anyways, so they interview the sheriff. Basically, all she's worried about is finding these people. She knows really nothing. Finds out that there's a sheriff that was a sheriff when the original, or not the original, the last series of disappearings happened, who might still be around. Then they decide to go both their ways. Sam goes with, what's the Spanish guy's name?
Caesar?
Goes with Caesar. And, Dean goes with Caesar.
I feel like he's Mexican.
He's a Mexican, yes. And then Dean goes with Jesse to go talk to to the old sheriff. Turns out the old sheriff really found the nest And maybe this was the twist where the sheriff...
This was the twist.
The soft twist.
The soft twist of the episode is that the sheriff 27 years ago actually had tracked down the monster and done nothing about it because his daughter was one of the victims.
Which is very sad.
Yeah. River.
I was getting a little emotional. I'm very soft. And got a little bit emotional, and then I think that's where Jesse's lack of maybe acting experience came into effect. Did you notice all that, those facial tics and movements he was going on, he was doing? Yeah, I don't know. It was a little weird. I turned to my wife and I was like, "Do you see this guy's face?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's doing some weird stuff with his face." But he was pissed off that the sheriff knew.
He's done a few things.
Well, I don't know. He was cool. I mean, I like him, but
yeah, he's done mostly some guest spots on shows. Is what it looks like. His Jesse, the character of Jesse, was played by Lee Rumor.
Rumor has it that he needs to work on his acting.
Rumor has it.
So, and he's really pissed off the fact that he, one, didn't tell anybody about these creatures, and two, kind of made Jesse feel like he wasn't crazy. And
right. He knew that Jesse, the 12-year-old boy, saying that there were monsters, he knew that he wasn't crazy, and yet let everybody continue to believe that the child was crazy and nothing happened, even though he knew he could tell the truth and back him up.
I mean, you really can't be mad at that sheriff. I mean, that guy probably went through something that, nobody should go through.
Poor little gay 12-year-old kid in the backwoods town.
That's probably the last thing that sheriff was thinking
monsters.
About.
Like, come on.
After he went through that, killing his own daughter, and I think he took out a bunch of people too.
Yeah.
In order to get out of there. The last thing you're thinking about is that 12-year-old kid who told you his brother got taken and you didn't believe him. I mean, I don't blame him. I felt like he went through something horrific and had to, he literally just gave up his job and moved into the middle of nowhere to just kind of hide out. It sucked for him, but they ended up going, and Dean and I can't remember, Oscar?
Caesar.
Fuck. Caesar. Caesar, they end up finding the nest. They go in there and they discover a couple pregnant women with some glow-in-the-dark larvae, which I thought was really cool. I was thinking that was like a pretty cool Halloween costume if you can make it happen. Like a fake belly with a glow-in-the-dark larva in your belly.
I'll be the cicada spirit from that one episode of Supernatural for Halloween. Hey, I won't have to explain myself to anyone.
That would be like really good cosplay. Like, you know how in cosplay, the more the more discreet, not discreet the character, like the more random the character, like the more awesome the cosplay is. Like, oh my god, I was that one assistant to this guy in this episode, and that's who I am. Like, oh wow, you really did some good research. You're not the main characters. Like, there's 13,000.
Yeah. You're saying you're impressed by obscure cosplay?
Yeah, obscure. I love obscure cosplay. Like, oh my god, I remember that guy, that one episode.
Okay.
So yeah, that's probably going to be my Halloween costume. No, not mine. Maybe my wife.
Okay.
Anyways, so,
does she know about that?
Yeah, she's a big fan. So I could be Caesar.
Caesar's gay.
So I could play a gay character.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, for sure. Damn, do the fake hair. I'd probably play Jesse better though. But the thing is, that's very hard for me to cosplay anything because there's not really any Hispanic characters anywhere. Think about it. Who? The one dude.
Not on Supernatural. No.
Machete. Like that's the one guy that plays anything in the typical stereotypical Mexican gangster you see in every single movie.
I don't know.
And that has no hair and a beard.
Well, first of all, you are not committed to cosplay if you're not wearing a fucking wig. So the no hair shouldn't matter.
It's so hot though.
And if we're not putting on
I'm not shaving.
You don't
the
have
beard
to
again.
shave. Well, first of all, you're not into it if you're not shaving.
Oh my god.
But you can put prosthetics on or play a character in a mask. You don't need to be any type of thing if you're a monster that wears a mask.
That's true.
Spider-Man. You don't know. Yeah. You don't know if it's Miles Morales or Peter Parker under there. You don't know.
I could be Fat Spider-Man. That'd be great. Have like rips in my outfit.
Oh god.
I throw donuts.
Donuts come out of your wrist.
So they walk into
Munchkins, little donut holes.
They walk into one does like the donuts and the other one does the donut holes. Like, anyways.
I really want some donuts now.
Oh my god. Speaking of donuts, I went to Universal Studios last weekend, and I found a what's that famous donut place that does the glazed donuts?
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. A 24-hour Krispy Kreme store.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we have those down
We
here.
went there at we do. I haven't seen one at like 11:30. Getting back, stop by and get
Was
them.
the hot and fresh sign
Oh
on?
my god, yes, they were so
Have they just
warm.
come out?
Literally, you put it in your mouth and just melts and just disintegrates.
It's like a raccoon cleaning cotton candy.
I honestly didn't want them, but my wife forced me. Yeah, she forced me. I said, I don't want to eat. I don't want these because I'm going to eat them all. And it was one of those things that you can't control yourself.
Yeah.
So we bring them back to the hotel room, and I had 4.
Yeah, that's what people are always like. Oh, everything's good in moderation. I'm like,
No.
I can't.
I have
there's
no
no
control.
moderation for me.
I have 0 control.
It's either I quit all donuts
Yep.
forever, or I'm gonna eat them all.
Yeah, don't play with me.
I can't not. That's why it's like I can't bring any. Like when I go grocery shopping, I cannot bring home food. Like, oh, well, chips if I have a guest come over or something like that. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, it will not make it to the next day. I don't care how full I am. Those chips will be gone.
That happens with me with Oreo cookies too.
Oh, yeah.
Oreos. Oh my god, I can't.
You
stop.
know what? Oreo's making me super angry recently with when they first started coming out with their new flavors. What was the very first one? Was like chocolate chip cookie dough or something was one of their first ones.
Well, they had the strawberry
Yeah.
filling. Then they
And
had
like, I don't know, but
mint.
yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is now they're coming out with so many. There's 75 different fucking flavors.
I'm
getting tired of it.
I'm a double stuffed guy.
I'm getting
myself.
tired of it.
Double stuffed is the way to go.
What was the one? I forget what flavor I actually did like. There was only one random flavor I liked. Anyway,
So they find this nest with
Supernatural.
the
Talk about it.
creepy pregnant
I'll
ladies
be over
who
here thinking about donuts and cookies.
they're already dead.
Yeah, they're dead. They're using them, their breed. They used the female victims to breed. And now that the eggs are there and waiting to be hatched, the females have all been killed off.
Yeah. And then you get the the monster that always seems to come out of nowhere.
That's what monsters do.
It's funny because the one where Caesar gets attacked and outside, he kind of looks around, he looks left, he looks right, and then all of a sudden from the direction he's looking, one just leaps out in front of him. I'm like, where'd he go? You didn't see him coming? But again, I guess these guys kind of came out from the ground. You saw
yeah,
them,
they come out from the
It
ground.
was just weird because it happens a lot where like they look left and right and nothing there, and all of a sudden, whoof, right from the right side, they just finish looking and jumps at you.
That's why they look left and right, is to let you know that something's going to come that they didn't see.
Yeah. And anyway, so the guy, jumps them. They start fighting. Dean and Caesar both take out their respective baddies, which these guys, they had kind of like vampire-ish teeth, kind of. The green eyes was
they
more
took
so.
out, because if you remember in the very beginning of the episode, the young teenager, young 20s body of the boy who walked with his girlfriend in that alleyway had a chunk taken out of his neck, so you know that they're biters.
Mhm.
The Chitters.
Yeah, but you would think, why would they be biting though if their whole goal is just like to have sex and mate and reproduce? I mean, it could be something that turns them on or something.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying, biting is. We're not here to kink shame anyone. Just saying.
I had a girlfriend who was a scratcher, and that was not fun. Anyways, so
Moving on.
So they take out their two respective baddies. The green eye thing was mostly because, I guess cicadas have a green tint to their eyes. Was that the whole idea behind it?
I guess. I don't think I knew why.
Oh, no, the lady said it's like when they're sexually charged, their eyes glow green.
Well, yeah, but she was telling a weird story.
Yeah, that her mammy told her.
Yeah. I don't know how much of, she wasn't going based off actual cicada lore.
And the funny thing is, she really believed her grandma because she was out. I'm going to be out during this time because I know what happens at this time.
Hey. But what I don't understand is how does everybody know, it happens every 27 years? I'm like, according to this, it's only happened twice before, and you were only alive for one of the other ones, so,
Well, no.
it's not really a pattern yet.
It happened twice before, right?
Yeah, this would be the third time ever.
Well, she had personal experience with her husband,
In the first one.
taking off and being seen with these women and, in public, whatever. So she had, I guess, some personal experience. So she was like, I've seen it happen.
But seeing my husband screw a lot of chicks and then take off doesn't make me think, in 27 years, something's going to happen again.
Grandma told her, you got
Grandma's crazy stories must be true.
They must be true. Anyway, so I mean, we missed a lot of stuff. I mean, in the episode to talk about small little nuances and stuff, but
we don't need to like.
They're not really
recap
hugely.
the episode.
They're not really hugely important to the story.
Hopefully, if anybody's listening to this, they've seen it, and
this is
the fact is probably nobody else is listening to this, and I've seen it, so it's okay.
It shouldn't be the audio version of the episode.
Yeah, it's like we're just
recounting. Little summary.
And then he walked over here,
and
he gasped, and he looked at Dean longingly.
So when they Sam and Jesse find the nest after speaking to the last sheriff, they give the guy the honors of kind of going in there first and getting his revenge or killing whatever. Then he sees his brother's body, and I thought, like I said before, was that his brother was going to pop out as like the main bat, but then I see the dead body, a little coin purse. And what kind of coin was that? Was it just like a silver coin or a quarter?
No, that was a buffalo nickel he talked about. Was that the one? I think that was the buffalo nickel because he talked about the buffalo nickel being worth $900, and the other one was worth $400. And then there was something else, and then he showed him that one, so maybe it's different from the buffalo
His
nickel.
Xbox was worth $250.
He didn't have an Xbox.
So
don't be ridiculous.
So when I saw the little coin purse, I was like, "Oh, it's pulling my heartstrings."
Yeah,
I felt bad.
These were one-off characters that were meant to pull on your heartstrings.
Do you feel they're going to be one-off characters though? Because I thought they did. I felt they had a really good presence.
Yeah.
They had the muscle that Sam was saying. Like, it's nice to have some extra muscle because that those guys can handle themselves. You don't have to worry about them and have to protect them. They're going to protect you, if anything. But the fact that later on in the episode, Sam and Dean are talking about it and saying the same thing we just said, and they're like, why don't we ask them for help with Amara? I mean, it'd be great to have some extra help. Then the guys come back like, well, we did what we came out to do, and now we're headed to our ranch.
Yeah, they said, they would always, Caesar had always been promised that once they got their revenge, that Jesse would give it up and they would go on and live out their lives. But the thing is that Jesse is very much into the hunting. He's like, unless you need us for anything. Like, I feel they disappeared and they went off now because Dean changed his mind and didn't ask them to join him so that they could go off and live their happy little lives.
Well, I think
I think Jesse's going to want to get back into it, and you'll either see them pop up maybe the end of this season or sometime next season.
Well, I think
you'll see one of just Jesse pop up without
maybe
Caesar because it broke up their marriage.
I think the ask was a polite ask, like, okay, you guys helped us take out these guys, and I'm gonna politely, it's the thing to do is like, hey, do you need any help? And
you keep teaching me about polite people helping each other. I didn't get it earlier today, and I still don't get it now.
No, but
that wasn't my.
He says you guys need help, but when you ask that person, you know that they're not gonna say yes. Because they already heard your story, and it's just kind of like the polite thing to do.
See, I got a different read from that.
Yeah.
I got a, you sure you don't need help? Because I could help you. Like, really? Come on. You need help? We could help you. It'll be fine. Just the one time I'll help.
Yeah.
Really excited.
I could definitely see what you're saying with Jesse maybe just coming back by himself and kind of hunting behind the back of his
maybe not even behind the back. Like, I could see them trying to, I don't know. But chances are I'm gonna have this whole fan fiction universe. I'm gonna write their whole fucking life history, like their story out there, and then they're never gonna show up again.
Or they go to their ranch in Mexico and
New Mexico.
And New Mexico.
Quit being racist.
And New Mexico. Nuevo Mexico. Anyways, I'm Hispanic. I could be racist to Hispanic people. So my fan fiction.
I can't be
they get
back.
They get back to the ranch. Then Caesar gets killed by some supernatural creature, and then Jesse's on board.
Oh, Jesse! At that point, just kill yourself. Just give up.
Poor guy.
Life's gonna suck for you.
I mean, he'd be on the same boat as Sam and Dean. Mom and dad killed. Girlfriends killed. Friends killed.
Yeah.
Second dads killed. Second mom's killed.
Everybody's dead.
Yeah, I mean, Sam and Dean are like probably.
They still have Jody.
They still have her, but I don't know how much more she's gonna last.
Yeah.
She's been around, I think, a little too long for the typical woman on this show.
Yeah. And
she's gotten the shit beat out of her a couple times already.
Yes, she has.
Poor lady.
I know.
So Sam and Dean let them have their happily ever after, which I think is, again, the right thing to do. You don't drag these guys and ruin their happily ever after. Because
their happily ever after is going to turn out so great when the fucking world ends because God and his sister are having a hissy fight.
But do you put that weight on somebody else? You know, I mean,
why not? Why is it? I mean, I can see why Amara is their weight because they created Amara, or they freed Amara. So yeah, I guess this particular instance.
And there are hunters who hate the Winchesters because they
fucking
open
cause a lot of trouble.
they mess some shit up.
Hunting was an easy motherfucking job back in the day.
They opened the gates of hell.
Like, do you remember they're like vampires, werewolves? Are those real? I've never heard of them.
They brought down heaven. You know, like just angels falling from the sky because of them.
You used to see like 5 or 6 demons a year topside. Now it's like 5 or 6 demons in this bar that I walked into.
Yeah, they're everything is gone crazy because of this. So I think a lot of hunters probably hate them too.
Oh yeah,
because who knows how much destruction they've caused in regards to other families or other people that have died because of their actions.
They've probably killed more people than they've saved.
Probably. I forgot one episode where they said that, you know, do you think like by saving this person you could even get to how many people have died? Because, you know, from our journey here, like they're just literally trying to always play catch up with all the damage they do by saving the 1 or 2 people they do.
Yeah, but then they
once
have
in a
to
while
turn around and save each other again and end up destroying everything. I mean, Amara's killed so many people.
So, the last thing now, how many more episodes do we have to the season finale?
Is this a 22 or 24 season?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a 23 episode season.
Oh, so we still got a while. That's pretty cool. We got 4 more episodes.
Uh-huh.
There could be a suicide coming up. Not of mine. I mean,
just
Dean.
Just randomly, there's going to be one?
No, I think Dean's going to sacrifice himself. I think that might be the thing from the very beginning where they had that connection.
No, Dean was sacrificed himself the last time. We've got to get Sam sacrificed.
Yeah, but
why?
Why do they have this connection? There has to be. There's a reason why she's taking care of him.
Because of the mark of Cain.
So she like owes him one?
No, because the mark connects them.
Oh. Well, he doesn't have the mark anymore. It's gone.
Right, because he released her.
Mm.
They're still a part of each other.
What's your biggest theory of what's going to happen for the season finale? Like, do you have any what you want to see happen?
What I want to see happen? No, not really.
I definitely want to see God.
I do think,
or whoever is going to be playing that role.
I do think Chuck shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. But is he God or is he just speaking for God?
No, like I said, Chuck has been, in my head canon, Chuck has been God, and it's kind of accepted, which I guess technically isn't, but yeah.
I would like to see a little bit of fighting happen with Amara and God, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late, and they're going to have to drag that on for season 12. But does Lucifer die? What happens to Cass? Does Rowena survive this battle or this ordeal? Crowley, where's he going to end up? There's so many questions.
Crowley will be fine. Has Mark Sheppard signed? Mark Sheppard signed on for next season, right?
I don't know. But Crowley's a survivor. Rowena's a survivor for sure. Yeah. That lady is harder to kill than a cockroach. And I think Cass could be questionable for next season.
No.
No?
No. I 100% guarantee you, whether or not he's actually Cass or Cassifer or whatever thing he wants to be possessed by, but 1,000, I would bet $1 million right now that he's around.
It's been a while since...
You don't get rid of him.
When was the last time a main character died?
We've never had a main character die.
What are you talking about? Of course.
Main character?
Like a main character.
There are literally only 3 main characters.
Bobby dead.
Was never a main character.
He became a main character. He was a main player.
He's never a main character.
No. He was big on Supernatural.
Literally, in the opening credits, it's not his name. Jim Beaver was not in the opening scenes.
Okay, just trust me. He was a big character.
Yes, he was a big character. He was not a main character.
Okay, the killing of their father.
John Winchester was never a main character.
You don't think so?
No. He was a big character, but he was a supporting character.
I'm trying to think of other main characters here. Now that I've made that statement, I have to defend
You've literally got Cass, Sam, Dean. That's it. Maybe I would say Crowley. At this point, I would say maybe Mark Sheppard is considered main. But Think about that. There was no mention of him at all this episode.
Of Crowley?
Yeah. I mean, and if you look, technically, Misha was only a main cast member for, one season? I think season 6, they made him a main cast member. And then by season 7, he was taken back down to reoccurring.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're right. I mean, I would like to see...
We've seen... Actually, you know what? We have seen plenty of main characters die. Sam and Dean do it every year.
Well, I mean, I think either...
But 1,000% Misha Collins is back next year. The fandom would literally kill people without one of those, with those 3 not being there.
So when the season finale happens, I just want to talk about this, and we haven't even really talked about this off the air or off. Are we going to do recaps or go back and do episode 1s, or are we going to talk about other shows in the meantime? What are we going to do?
What are we going to do during summer hiatus?
Yeah.
Let's go back and do a rewatch. Start with season 1. That'll be fun.
And okay, cool.
Go back to you'll get to hear my hatred of Dean. Oh, I get so angry. I can't. It's very hard for me to do a Supernatural rewatch because I get so angry at Dean and John Winchester. So angry.
Why? Because they're dicks to Sam?
Yeah. I identify with Sam very, very much in the early seasons. I don't mind Dean at all now. I like the way he's grown. And, get rid of the John Winchester influence. He's doing a lot better. Not as much of a fucking asshole.
I'm going to have to get used to seeing them so young, too.
I know. They look so ridiculous. Well, Jared Padalecki looks like he's about... You compare pictures, he looks like he's about 5 in the first season.
He looks like a baby, and his haircut is so funny.
Oh.
Dean really has not changed at all.
No, Jensen doesn't age.
Couple little wrinkles, but besides that, I mean, the guy ages like a god. Anyway, so that's episode 100,000 of Get the Salt.
I feel like our count may be off there, but I'll check the abacus and get back to you. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Get the Salt Pod.